Jonathan Fitz, and this is the weekly Raw review. So it starts with an in-ring promo from Rhea in EO that's interrupted by Liv and Roxanne. Liv saying that she basically never lost her belts and wants them back. That's then interrupted by Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Um, and then Asuka and Kairi Sane run in, big brawl, and Rhea and Io end up standing tall by the end of it. Bit of a commotion, but obviously it's setting up for something later in the night. Next, we've got AJ having an interview backstage. Basically, it's about respect, and Gunther's disrespect of John Cena's what's led to last week slapping Gunther, and then this week, obviously, the main event coming, Gunther versus AJ. So, kind of gives you the reasoning for the main event. So it's not really a pointless interview, but it was very short. Then they announced that there's going to be a number one contender match, a triple threat tag team for Rio and Io's women's tag team titles. Then we go backstage, catch Finn Balor playing 2K, and Liv basically asking, "What are you waiting for? You said you was going to be the leader of the Judgment Day," and basically to stop playing games, like literally and figuratively. So that kind of lights a fire under Finn. Then we go to Javon Evans versus Bravo of Bravo Americano. Now, I think that this is kind of decent, but I think maybe they're stretching it a bit too far now with this whole Americano mask gimmick. Clearly, he's facing Bravo, which is Tyler Bate. Decent match. Obviously, Javon wins his debut Raw match, and then the Bravo Americanos go to attack Javon, throw him onto the table, the announce table, and then he basically, as he's cornered by all three of them, jumps from the announce table to the ring and escapes. Then spends a lot of time in the alleyway basically smiling like, "Whew, got away there," while all three of them are just stood in the ring just a couple of feet away, just like, "Oh, damn you." Just, yeah, it was a bit crazy still. Then we go to Adam Pearce backstage. Heyman is basically being pressured about Bron Breakker. Adam Pearce is saying that if he comes with any bad intentions, let him know to go home. Then we get a CM Punk in-ring promo. He basically says he plans on being champion forever, but reminds us that, look, Cody Rhodes just lost his title. Says that there's a few obstacles in the way, Rumble and Elimination Chamber and that. And then he says that he wonders who's next, basically. And as he goes to leave, Finn Balor enters. Clearly, Finn Balor's been brought to life by Liv's comments. He basically mentions that CM Punk had mentioned when he won the title that he wanted to face people like Finn Balor. And he said, well, he's here. So CM Punk basically, good little response. If I see you backstage playing games, most times I think you're just here to shine Liv Morgan's boots, which got a bit of a reaction. And then basically says, well, if I said yesterday I was a fighting champion, today I'll be a fighting champion, and offers him the opportunity to face him. Finn essentially turns that down and says, no, next week we're in Belfast, I prefer to do it there. Punk accepts and basically apologises to the people of Belfast for essentially about to beat their hero in front of them. Then we get a AJ and Gunther recap of what happened last week, setting up for the main event. Then we get the number one contenders match for the women's tag team titles. Kairi Sane, Asuka versus Lyra and Bayley versus Liv and Roxanne. Decent match. Liv ends up pinning Kairi, and Liv and Roxanne end up winning the match, so now they're number one contenders. Then we get a short Becky interview vignette type segment, complaining that Maxine basically shouldn't be getting a rematch, but next week Becky's gonna be defending her Intercontinental Championship against Maxine. Then we get a Maxine backstage interview saying that Becky essentially had to cheat to win the title, and next week she wants to break Becky's ankle with the ankle lock. Then we get a Mean Gene style Michael Cole interview on the entrance ramp with Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel basically says that people change. She's sick of waiting. Essentially, a heel promo. Stephanie Vaquer interferes. Raquel kind of mocks her and limps away. Leaves Vaquer to like talking to the camera. She's talking Spanish for a second, and out of nowhere, Raquel comes back, attacks the bad ankle of Stephanie. And yeah, it doesn't look good for Stephanie Vaquer. It looks like Raquel's definitely gunning for that title. Next match, we get Penta versus Dragon Lee. Penta and Dragon Lee, sorry, versus Bronson Reed and Austin Theory. It's all going fairly well. Logan tries to interfere, gets a double super kick off the apron when Penta and Dragon Lee look to be basically in control. Out of nowhere, Braun Breaker hits a spear to Dragon Lee on the outside that causes the DQ. Then he gives another spear to Penta, and as Braun Breaker is lining up another spear from round the ring, Adam Pearce steps in to try and control things, gets in the ring, he ends up laying hands on Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker grabs him, pushes him into the corner. Suddenly you get all elite chants, all elite wrestling chants start breaking out across the whole arena, which was a bit crazy. Then the Vision leave. Heyman's trying to like calm Pearce down. Logan comes and he's basically saying you need to chill, Braun's gonna kill you kind of thing. And we get straight to backstage. We've got Adam Pearce spitting as he shouts that he's suspended indefinitely Braun Breaker. Heyman says that Pearce has made the biggest mistake of his life and reminds Pearce that he touched Braun Breaker first, which kind of seems like it's gonna be Adam Pearce's undoing here. Then we get a short Mania promo, Triple H taking calls from a bunch of celebrities, all giving pitches for WrestleMania and winning titles and stuff. So essentially, guys, we are fucked. They're going to be bringing Celebrity Mania to, it's gonna be. I don't know whether I want to even watch WrestleMania this year. That's how bad these promos really were. Like, yeah. But moving on anyway, we've got a decent main event. We've got AJ versus Gunther. We've got a good back and forth. AJ seems to be working Gunther's leg throughout the match. Hits a calf crusher towards the end, and AJ then gets up and says that Gunther tapped AJ's leg. There's a bit of confusion. The ref then pointlessly turns around to explain to the ring announcer that the match is continuing because he didn't see a tap. But the ring announcer didn't do anything to warrant that. Whilst his back's turned anyway, Gunther hits a low blow, hits him with the power bomb, beats AJ, and then the replay showed that Gunther actually did tap out, but out of the view of the referee, which just simple camera work could have fixed that for us. And again, just a simple fix. If the bell had been rung when AJ jumped up, if the bell got rang one time, no music plays, then the ref's got to turn around and explain things, and you know what I mean. But the way that it was, the ending was really flat because none of us knew what AJ jumped up for. He just jumped up and was saying that he tapped his leg. We didn't have any confirmation of that until it was all over with. So yeah, for me, it was a decent match that got ruined by a poorly executed finish that could have been solved so simple. Just different shot of the camera. If you didn't want to show the shot of Gunther tapping until it was all over, that's fine. Just ring the bell. Just ring the bell when AJ gets up, and now the ref has a reason to turn around and explain things to the ring announcer, and then we can get that little bit of confusion that leads to the low blow. All in all, though, I feel pretty lackluster show. Could have been better, but at the same time, I've definitely watched worse episodes of Monday Night Raw. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what next week brings in Belfast, I believe it is. Well, obviously Belfast, we've got Becky defending a belt and Finn Balor going up for a belt. So clearly WWE's in Ireland, innit? Won't be surprised if Sheamus comes out for a match. I won't be saying we get a Fit Finley cameo somewhere in there, just throwing out anyone they can do. But again, looking forward to see what happens anyway. Finn Balor and CM Punk for the world title surely can't let us down. Surely, two are the greatest in the company. They've got to do something. So wait and see what happens. But yeah, guys, that was this week's episode of Raw. That was this week's Raw weekly review, and I'll catch you all on the next one.